Good evening, VPG. Tuesday night, VPG night, brought to you by Pro Clubs Weekly. Slap the badge, slap the badge. I got the right side again, Dominic. I hope you're proud of me.
Always, 8 ball, always and forever.
Thank you. Just he's my parents now, and then that's a full house. So tonight, boys and girls, another. We always say it in the intro. 4 absolute bangers, and I'm just going to show them to you right now. Coming up first to kickstart our Tuesday night is Phoenix versus FG. You know it as the VLG derby. Both teams have the same sponsor, so we're going to call it a derby. Lazy journalism, Domino. Lazy journalism.
Yeah, 8 ball, to be fair, regardless of derby or not a derby, what a game that is. True. And like last night, 8 ball, you put 2 big hitters at the top of your card, it gets bums in seats early. Yeah, Phoenix, we know them really well. Lovely bunch of boys across there. And then FG, been on a bit of tear, played fantastic yesterday. And obviously came up with a draw against a really good team. So yeah, excited for that one.
And next on the agenda is Illegal Esports versus Heritage, the round of 16 in the VPG Esports Cup. And Domino, this is a very special occasion because it is the first time we've got to see Illegal Esports since we saw them in actual person. When was the last time we can say that about anyone in clubs? So the last time we saw them was in person. It's unheard of. And so a massive welcome to those guys. And also, obviously a welcome to Heritage. We know them well. A team that are flying at the moment. Just a 1 loss in 5. A Hutchless Heritage tonight, though. So let's see if Illegal can do the business against that esports premier side. They are in the division below, so they'll be looking for a scalp. After that, Domino, we don't have the team sheet. Naughty Exotic Gaming, we'll call them out. Naughty Exotic Gaming, they're taking on REGNUM BODRUM, who we saw yesterday, current league leaders. So again, another banger. And last but not least is the Portuguese. They are hosting the team with the performance of the night last night, Domino. It is ROTE. That's going to be it's going to be an insane game. That's 5th plays 6th in the league. There's lots and lots of stats I'm going to chuck your way at the end of this stream for that game. So yeah, I hope you've got your textbook ready and your pens at the ready, because it's a very interesting game, that one, put it that way.
Nice. And 8 ball, to be fair, you just need to know the lineups to know that's an interesting game. FTW for the win. Really good team, 8 ball. And then I like having a team that comes on off the back of an unbelievable performance they put on against Digital, firing on all cylinders with that. And to be fair, to pull the curtain back on what we do, me and 8 ball went off air. We spent probably the next 20 minutes talking about that front 2 for row.
No, we actually did. That is the state of our lives at the moment. We do that. But yeah, more pressing. Not more important, but more pressing is this VLG derby, Domino. We saw FG last night, so we'll park those for a little bit. Phoenix without Tiki tonight, so their gapper immediately. I'm going to say it's going to be detrimental. There's a lot of names in there who are new to myself, put it that way. But there's also a lot of names in there who I'm expecting them to step up in the absence of some of the other senior players, Domino, put it that way.
Yeah, it's a new look side from last season, 8 ball, compared to what they're putting out again this season. So, but the players they've got in there, 8 ball, let's just start even at the bottom of the left-hand side. Big Hammer Overich at left back. What a player he is. Yeah, what I like about him is he kind of can do everything on that side of the pitch. He can take it past someone. He's used to playing centre back. He can play that left back position, defend very well. Positioning's great, and he's dangerous when he gets a sniff a goal. He's one of those flying wingers that you're always excited to have in the team, and then they're littered full of talent throughout there, to be fair.
Yeah, a former winger himself moving into fullback. We see that quite often now, but not many can do it at that level.
Age, April. It's age.
Again, experience, I think you'll find it's called. And again, Tiki in his absence lets us know all about Mutastic, who I'm excited to see tonight. At centre-back, partnered with Red for Light, and of course, up front, Domino, is that man. It's Pink Ballerina, Mario. He's going to be their focal point tonight because they are just playing that one up front, and Phoenix Benny is playing in behind him in that number 10. How do you see those two pitting up against the likes of, I mean, that back three, Tuanze, Kula, Finn, even Waddy chucked him in there, even Miller chucked him in there as well.
Yeah, Porridge sticking in CM. I'm not gonna lie, well, I think he's found his position.
That's 3 games in a row on the stream.
Yeah.
He's playing in the same position.
He's ruining my bingo card, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, we gotta stop playing that game as well. We just came up with a tune as well.
But I don't think I've seen a Phoenix side without Domino up top. So it is a new look team. I've seen Domino partnered with Pink Ballerina, but I've never seen Domino not in the team. He's a selfless player, does selfless things on the pitch, running in behind, causing danger, good technique with the ball, and a good shooter 8-ball. So, yeah, just that one focal point. You don't see it as much now, 8-ball, with one strike going up top, but we're about to kick off, and it's going to unfold in front of us.
Let's see if it pays dividends then. And yeah, Domino, like you said, the amount of players that Phoenix haven't got out tonight, you could probably make a full 11 that would do very well in this UK Premier. Phoenix currently 5th, FGR 3rd. Top of the table clash. SJ Clay dispossessed by Everett. It is Phoenix in the black kits. From left to right, Benny just looking to probe in behind the red shirts of FG. Away from home tonight. A big game and a big derby. VLG derby, this one is.
Yeah, enable. Both teams are really experienced and they knock around at a good high level. So you're expecting to see some good quality football here. The one thing Phoenix do fantastically well, the organisation and shape defensively and their press as well. If you can play through a Phoenix press, there are definitely chances to be had, but it's easier said than done.
Absolutely. They're a well-oiled machine, but like we said, they are missing players, so that philosophy will be there. Whether or not they've got the experience and the discipline. I mean, they're even missing their goalkeeper, and I think they're missing their second goalkeeper as well. Don't quote me on that. So I think FG will be looking at this one and licking their lips because they've put out the same team from yesterday, and like Domino said in the intro, a very good performance from those boys against a very good side, Black Sheep. So I think they'll be looking at this one and thinking 3 points is definitely a possibility here, as Dilvix, the goal scorer from yesterday, strides his way into the box, but Everett and Hammer stop him from doing so. Ness can't take it under his spell, so it will be a throw into FG. They politely give it back with Doom, who politely gives it back again.
Yeah, and it's those loose passes, a little bit of, I don't know, confidence issues, 8-ball, or just range finders, because they're not seen to picking out those passes, but great feet there. And that's one thing that I do love about players like Pink Ballerina. As soon as he's got the ball to feet, it's either one touch offload it and proper striker play, but when he's got space to turn and get it, run into goal, he's looking to take you on, he's looking to do damage, and I love players with that attacking mindset and philosophy.
Well, it's why they're able to play one up front, Domino. When that one person is Pink Ballerina, then fine. It's almost like having 2 average strikers up front anyway. So let's go with the one elite striker and see how they get on. It does mean they're going to be able to flood this midfield, which at the moment is paying dividends for them. They've reduced FG to a lot of just possession at the moment. Not so many chances, if any chances, actually, to be fair. And I think that is kind of what Phoenix do anyway, as Ness gets on the edge of the box, foot in, tackle, and Domino. I've just seen on the team sheet, and we were a little bit late tonight, so apologies. I've just seen on the team sheet, Crimmy at right midfield for FG.
Ooh,
the return to the UK Prem of Crimmy.
Fair play. Go on, boys.
A good signing.
What player that is, by the way.
Good signing for FG there. Bringing back home. Teagues, is this the UK Prem? Yes, it is, mate. Yeah. You're next. You're playing next, if you didn't know. Benny looking for striker's feet. Rubber Ducky in there, though. Does well. Dilvix looking down the line. Mutastic steps in. He's going to have to do it again if he wants to keep this FG side quiet at the moment. Building nicely. Miller into Porridge. The gaffer gives it to Valiant. Mutastic sweeps up, completes the clearance. Men up for Phoenix.
Yeah.
Benny playing in that Tiki role tonight. He'll be under the watchful eye. Get well soon, Tiki, by the way. I assume you're watching this, or you better be watching this. It's SJ Clay, turns in the box. Shot block. Doom sweeps up nicely. Gets it clear. And again, almost leaving 3 up, Domino. A bit like Black Sheep yesterday.
Yeah, if Tiki was watching that play, be watching it under the covers 8-ball, because they are, I'm not going to lie to you, 8-ball, they're propping and prodding here. They're getting into these dangerous plays. It's the animation. It was actually a really good
It was
tackle.
a good tackle, yeah, exactly that. I'll tell you about animation. That was a sweet old animation. Kev, who's playing in left midfield tonight, or left attacking midfield, gets a bit of freedom out there. Good player to give freedom to. Just running into that sea of red shirts, though, is Pink Ballerina. And I think that would be his night tonight, Everett.
Fantastic work, April.
Big tackle. Let him know you're there.
The aggressiveness in their defending and their pressing is phenomenal. They do sit back and get to a nice shape like this, April. And it's very much both teams finding good areas on the pitch. When it gets to this area here, April, when it gets to the final third, either defence are on top or they're just lacking innovation to see what they're going to do.
Might have just strayed. Yeah, that's the right back though, Domino. Good signs for Phoenix. And I did just briefly mention Kev over on that left-hand side. He is used to operating deeper than that and in midfield, in central midfield. I think putting him out there, you saw his tricks and his magic out there. He got himself half a yard and got that cross in. I think that might be their outball tonight between him and Pink Ballerina. And again, through ball is going to be swept up nicely by the Hammer, by the way. Yeah, and again, when you're talking about world-class players, Domino, I mean, those two fit the bill. And if, like you said, they're so defensively solid. They're astute. They know what they're doing. They get in those banks of 4. Swanee there, just proving a point for me. Although, his curse of the commentator, Doom is there, having a good game so far.
Oh, that's nice.
But it might well be the tactic, Domino. It might very well be the tactic. That's definitely not the tactic.
It's very unusual football here, 8-ball, at FG. They're in a very dangerous position, and then they got dispossessed.
Oh,
and then they put
Rimmy's red-timed it. Did you mean Phoenix?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Phoenix are looking for their own downfall at the minute, 8-ball. 3 big lapses of concentration, of losing the ball in not even dangerous, very dangerous areas, like criminal areas to lose it. And there's golden rules of football, and one of them is never play across your box.
Oh, Mutastic. Great work from him. And draws the foul, although nothing given, surprisingly. We are coming up for half-time now. If they can see this out, it'll be considered a good half. But FG have got other ideas. Cuts inside, goes for the Trivella. Swanee needs to clear it. The press is on. Falls to the feet of the striker. The man's down on the floor. Thomas has a wild swing at it. Had absolutely no power. And I tell you what, Domino, I don't think Phoenix will mind too much there going into half-time at 0-0.
No, they were towards that last 15 minutes, 8-ball, they were getting absolutely dragged into a pressure cooker. And if I'm honest, it was part of their downfall. It was self-inflicted. They couldn't clear the lines. They couldn't play an out pass. I mean, let's give credit to FG for putting the pressure on and suffocating the open spaces. But yeah, there were just no ideas when Phoenix got the ball in there. And like I said, if you look at the starting lineup, 8-ball, it's very different from, let's say, their full-strength team. It just looks like it's not clicking for Phoenix at the minute. And FG, towards that end, will 100% on top.
I think as long as it's 0-0, I think, given the circumstance of tonight, I think they'll be happy. I think Tiki at home will be watching. He'll be happy with 0-0. And it's clubs at the end of the day, so anything can happen. And anything will happen as well. So I think it's a case of staying in this game, because other than those kind of giving away the ball, lapse of concentration, defensively they've looked solid. And as good as FG have looked this evening, they've not kind of carved anything out too often. I know they are pressurizing towards that back end of the first half, and I think halftime would have come at a very bad time for them, because they were just starting to hit their stride, and the press was good. I mean, at the end there, I think there was 4 red shirts pressing in the opposition box. but it is still 0-0. Speaking of the opposition box, FG once again find themselves in there, and don't know, Doom, I've never seen him play before. He's having a cracking game so far.
Yeah, doing really well, April. I can't. Once Phoenix get it into a position, I think they're just hanging on the ball a little bit too long. I'm about to say keep doing that then, but you know, they're their own ideas. Yeah, I just think,
rules up is fine.
yeah, Phoenix. If I can give a bit of advice, they just need to play a little bit quicker. They're a little bit too slow and a little bit too lackluster on the ball at the minute, and we know they can go through gears, and believe me that this is gear 1 or 2 for them, but they just need to start finding a body a little bit quicker, because FG are looking to make a dent in them. But again, keep up position fantastically well, and let's see how they transition here.
Evening, Shalufa. Thanks for joining us. UK Premier 0-0. Phoenix taking on FG. It's the VLG derby to kick off tonight's stream. 4 games for you. First of 4. Third plays 5th. FG third place, looking to add to their trophy cabinet. And Phoenix, to be honest, I think they would just take a good season. It's another bit of a rebuild of a season. And they had a lot of ins and outs last season, and they had a lot of ins this season, which is just as well, because the availability doesn't seem to be great as Creamy swings into the box. Thomas heads it down. Rebelite does well on the second bite of the cherry as well. Creamy keeps it alive. Edge of the box is Dilvix. Tricks, turns, big save from Maka. Punched out well as well, though. That's a cracking save in the end.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Dilvix there. He did have the one over 8 ball, but I think going for the shot was the better option. Keeper, like I said, not the first choice or second choice to keeper in there at the minute, but yeah, fantastic work.
Earning his stripes. Stripes. Swanee, back post is on, but Swanee says no. Rubber Ducky recycles for FG. Cooler loses his man nicely into Dilvix's feet. Miller onto Porridge as Gaffer. Balians misses the man running in behind, keeps a hold of it though. Now finds Striker's feet. Finds his strike partner. Dilvix slots it away.
Absolutely.
Just
April,
like
go
last
back and
night.
clip it. Go back and clip that, April. Every single transition, every single player with the ball at their feet in that done everything on 100 IQ. And then let's give a shout out to Porridge there. Porridge is the one that really created that attack with the turn inside. He lost his man, progressive pass forward. The pass inside and the finish were fantastic, but Porridge done a lot to make that chance 8 ball, and it's the just rewards for FG at the minute because they are flying.
And speaking of flying, here comes Crimmy looking for that byline, cuts back, good defending in the end. SJ Clay defending from the front.
Oh, it's a derby, Abel. It is a derby.
Here we go. Swanee will take the throw. 20 minutes now for Phoenix to get something out of this. Valiant keeps the ball nicely. I mean, they've now got that 1 goal cushion. They don't need to come forward, but here they come. Dilvix and SJ Clay having a pair of good games, and here is the latter. Tries to turn in the box, and look, Domino, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red shirts up in that attack. 15 minutes from time and 1-0 up. That is the kind of dedication to scoring more goals that we love on this stream, funnily enough.
Yeah, and then they're just getting overrun 8 ball. Every time they get the ball, it's a clear, and it comes back to them in waves. Oh, he's just having some fun here, 8 ball.
Oh yeah, why not?
Just
dancing in the box. Thomas gets to the byline, slams it across the face of the goal, and Crimmy is there. Of course it's Crimmy. And to be fair, Dono, there's a plethora of players in that box who would happily tuck that away, but Thomas take a bow because that ball was very inviting. Very inviting.
Yeah.
Critical, I hope that was okay for you. 2-0 to FG. Critical by name, critical by nature, of course.
And April, the play there was excellent to get to the byline. And we always say the wide players of FG give them so much, not only positionally, offensively and defensively. The ball by Thomas was expertly done, saw the gap. If I'm honest, April just played it into an area, hoped someone would be there, because that's where the striker should be. Crimmy coming up there, popping up, getting himself an easy goal. Nothing the keeper can do. Yeah, and it's just been a flawless performance from FG at the minute.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to do with it, Dominic. I don't particularly think Phoenix have done too much wrong. Don't get me wrong, they haven't got out of second gear, but I think a lot of it is to do with just how good this FG side has been tonight. We saw them yesterday. They were in third or fourth gear, but tonight they're especially
a man down as well, April.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. You know, they've stepped up when they need to. They've got their goals, and I think for me, again, one of the things we look for, we spoke about a lot yesterday in the ROTE game, was just that passion to go and score more goals, to have fun while you're playing. And I think for the last 30 virtual minutes at the very least, FG have looked like they've been having fun out there.
Yeah, especially after that first goal went in April at the start of the second half. The tricks in the middle, the self-confidence, self-belief to do that. You can tell they're playing with that kind of freedom, that confidence, that arrogance, should I say.
It's deserved as well.
Yeah.
You know, they've looked very good for it. Is there a sting in the tail, though? If there is, they'll need to be quick. Rubber Ducky, flawless tonight. Dispossesses and clears. Only as far as Swanee, though, on that far side. Balian's back there this time. SJ Clay didn't get fouled like I thought he might there. And now Miller is able to play into touch for the final time. And there it is, boys and girls. Confirmation of FG 2, Phoenix 0. Good luck to the rest of these two teams tonight. FG, I don't think will actually need it because, to be honest, they look like they're in for a good night should they carry on in that rich vein of form.
Yeah, we caught them in a bit of good form, mate. Boy, it was unfortunate in the last game that we covered yesterday, the first game of the night, that they do lose a player quite early on. Yeah. But the full strength team, it's hard to keep up with them, April. And yeah, they were full strength tonight. They were excellent. And like you said, I'll echo it again. Phoenix didn't do a whole lot wrong, April. They were a bit wasteful in the midfield. They did cause a couple of their own problems with some sloppy passing. Defensively, they've done very, very well because the FG team did look hungry. But yeah, it went to the right team. The FG played the better and they deserved to be a 2-0. I thought it was a 2-0 game.
No, I agree, and I don't think there'll be many complaints from the Phoenix camp, if I'm totally honest. So, yeah, well played all around, and good luck for the rest of the night. Speaking of the rest of the night, here we go then, Domino. I'll let you talk about this Heritage side because Illegal Esports kind of have already written their own story. And we'll come on to that afterwards, but we'll talk about Heritage first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, the Heritage team, it's nice, April, because we've seen them kind of blossom this season and grow into a little bit of a force. I mean, Mickelback, one of the centre-halves there, has been absolutely fantastic. You've got the man with the best name in pro clubs to date, Mr. Don Unsal. Generally, name's unbelievable, and he deserves playing camp just for having a swaggy name like that. Teague's up top, April, and you've just got a lot of talent. And are they world class in their own right? I am unsure, April. But as a team, they don't do a lot wrong. So anytime we've seen them play, it's not like we just watched Phoenix and the loose passing in the midfield. They need to kind of correct that. Heritage have lost some games, won some games, but I generally think they are consistent every time they step out. There's no massive lapses in concentration that I see from their players. There's no off days they have. If you're going to play Heritage, digital is a perfect example, but when you play digital, you don't know what digital is turning up. You don't know if it's the world-class digital or the digital that's beatable. When Heritage turn up, you always know it's going to be a tough game.
No, I think that's a fair assessment, to be fair. And they started off really, really well. They're, in both of the leagues. They've dropped off since, and I don't think they'll mind me saying that. They're currently 16th in the Esports Premier, which I think, again, at the beginning of the season, in a 26-team league, you would take that as newly promoted. Yep. Instead, again, we've spoke about it on previous streams, they went and found a bagsman in Teagues who nobody suspected that of Teagues, not even Teagues himself. And again, I hope he won't mind me saying that. He might be sat there like, mate, come on. But you know, he's 25 goals in this season and playing at the highest possible standard he can play at. So it's no mean feat. But also he's partnered up with Harry Newman as well, who again, a very, very good striker, but not someone who I would associate with getting kind of 20 plus goals at that higher standard. He's on 16 as well. So that strike partnership has been so crucial to Heritage. And I'll liken them to a class team in that I just think teams don't like playing against them because, like you said, Domino, they can either play carpet football or they can drag you into deep waters, and they can do that. They can chop and change that at a flick of a switch, and you just never know which one it's going to be. And I think for Illegal Esports here, I think it's a team that they definitely should have done some homework on. Whether or not they watched any of the streams, I don't know. But I don't think it's a team that we can sit here and confidently call how they're going to play on the day, because we seem to see a different Heritage side every time we see them play, and I absolutely love that about them.
Yeah, I would say adding weapons to their arsenal.
Yeah.
And when I said consistency, obviously 60 is, obviously it's not a great position to be in, but when you get teams from the lower leagues, and we see it with the teams on lower leagues, it's the consistency in play where they turn up and they play a different style of football, a different brand of football. The players are not turning up. That's a regular team sheet. Heritage have moved up and they've done everything they need to be in this league, and 16th is a really good position for a team that just got promoted. Now, Illegal Esports 8 Ball.
What I will say just about Heritage before we do move on is they're 16th place, but they're definitely a 16th where you're looking up rather than behind, is all I'll say.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Please continue.
And with Illegal Esports, I was going to say, like, we've got a big affiliation with them because I tell you what, when we were at that live event, April, if you asked me who took the most fans with them, it was Illegal. They had their own tops, their supporters had their tops on April, there was banners for them. It was fantastic to see. It's how clubs should be. And I loved how they submerged themselves in that atmosphere, and it's brilliant.
And they got two new fans in you and I as well, because again, it was just electric there. So good to see them on the channel. It's the first time we've virtually seen them, but we've seen them in person, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, literally no sense. But I don't know how many there's, because again, we know a lot of these boys from their tag names and stuff. So when we met them in person, they would just use their tag names instead of their full names. With Illegal, we don't know how many people are still in that team from when we saw them in.
I would imagine it's a few. I wouldn't imagine that these guys are going to travel.
They look like a close bunch of people as well.
Exactly,
I mean, if they plan up the tournament together from a different country.
Exactly my point. My point.
You imagine they're a close bunch of friends.
And to be fair, they've got a lot to kind of stick around for. So they won Champ B last season, which they should never have been in, by the way. And they're top of Elite B this season. They're one loss in 22 games in Elite B. So they are playing at the second tier of that VPG Europe pyramid, which means should things carry on going their way, which I can't see a reason why they wouldn't, they will be in the VPG Esports Premier next season, all things being well, of course. And obviously anyone else in that league, I'm not casting aspersions. I'm not saying they will get promoted. However, they are currently unbeaten in 27 games in all competitions. So again, it's lazy journalism, I will agree, but also I'm just looking at the stats, man. I'm just looking at the stats. They don't lie. They don't lie.
No, and when we saw them play, again, when I told you Heritage don't really do things consistently, Illegal, when we saw them at the tournament, done everything exceptionally. Not only were their attacking play very, very commanding, their defensive work, positional and transition was incredible. But the game management through each game, through high pressure situations. Now, sitting at home playing is pressure. When you're in front of everyone and there's a crowd in front of you and you're playing Famalicia at the time, when they were called Poise, in the final with everyone watching you, being through a long, hard day, and it was a hard day.
It really was.
Tired brains, tired minds, tired bodies, and to still put on unbelievable time. Yeah, Abel was non-existent. I didn't hear him in the final. Abel went for a nap. But they came out April, and if you're going to play under those conditions and win a tournament, sitting at home, playing it like this in the comfort of your own home, I'm scared for the rest of the teams, genuinely. I might be giving them too much credit here, but I'm scared. I think they're a world beater.
Well, they beat Cyfox in the last round to get here into the round of 16, 5-0. So again, they are bang on form at the moment. But Heritage, they are in the league above them, you know, and I think sometimes that does count for something. They're used to playing those killers week in, week out, every single match day. And again, like we said, they're very in good form themselves. Only one loss in their last 5. They've scored 9 in those last 5. And just the hutch missing tonight for Heritage. And earlier I compared them to Class in that no one likes to play them. Another similarity is that they're making astute signings as well. So when they are missing players, they're able to bring players like C. Sammy, Mickleback coming back in as well to the fold. They're elite premier players. And again, I think it speaks volumes for a club of Heritage to almost be able to say, come on in to these elite players. So I think last season they wouldn't have been able to do that per se. So I think the world is at Heritage's feet at the moment. However, Heritage just don't watch that Family Account final with Illegal Esports because they were insane.
Don't watch any of the tournament. You didn't need to see it. They were an intimidating team, Abel. I was intimidated. I was sitting about 5 feet away from him, and I was slightly intimidated by the energy, Abel. After they scored a goal, like they get up and cheer at the other team. It's that really brash confidence. I love it, and I'm excited, April, to see them again a year past. Are we doing quite early?
I mean, if they've got any better, if they've improved, then I'm worried as well. But they're going to need to be at the top of their game, because if they do get promoted, they will be at that top, and I think that's something that they will be casting their eye on. So watch this space, watch this team. It is the team in all black, Illegal Esports, the Polish men, taking on Heritage. And just a point to note, Illegal Esports at home.
Yeah, there's a massive team, obviously. But if you weren't aware with Illegal Esports, it is that 1-2 touch football. It is how people say the game should be played. They didn't adopt the long ball in their arsenal, but we know it's much more potent on this FIFA than it was on the last one. So I'd like to know how they've adapted to it, and clearly by the results and where they are on the table, April adapted pretty well. 1
loss in 27. I think they're doing all right. Here is C. Sammy for Heritage. Good feat from him, finding their bagsman, Teagues, 1 of 2 bagsmen to be fair, as the Don losing out. We will butcher some of these Illegal Esports names, so apologies in advance. Flicked on to Mazzy, who is 13 goals in 25 games this season. So again, speaking of bagsmen, him and Kuba's playing in camp tonight. 14 and 26 for him with 8 assists. So those are the 2 danger men. However, the top rated player at Illegal Esports is their goalkeeper. So try and find a weakness, I dare you. Make it make sense, Domino. Make it make sense.
God, must be, again, with the amount of goals and that unbeaten run with the keeper, the highest rated player, genuinely incredible. Great feet over on this left hand side, Abel. And, oh my.
Good feet, Mazzy to the byline.
Oh, Abel, I'll lick my finger and put that on the chalkboard. That's 1-0 for me. Thank you very much.
Giorgio blocking that cross at the expense of a corner, but Hutek, good start over on that far side. Sent his man to the shops, did manage to come back though. And not without Twix.
Making their time here, Abel.
That's interesting. Texan kept it in as well. He kept it in. I didn't think he did, and neither did that man standing under the ball. And here we go. It's 3v2. The Don finds Yakoa. Gets into the box. Gives it to Teagues, the skipper for tonight in Hutch's absence. But loses out. Mazzy. These front 2 looking dangerous. Front 3 as Cuba catches up.
My Heritage.
Yeah, good recovery to Giorgio. Taking his sweet time, and I like that. Another astute signing for Heritage as well. Teagues, through ball, far side, swings it in, back post is definitely open if he can keep it down. Yakola gives it to the Don. Harry Newman turns on it, flip-flaps his way through, and it's just fallen straight to Maver's grateful hands. Wow. And we saw digital last night, Domino. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, in situations like that, I think he did overdo it slightly. There was one too many touch needed, but I thought the opportunity was there to get a better shot onto goal when you've squared them up. It was unfortunate, but Heritage showing what Heritage can do.
That's it. That's it.
And it's great football here, and they're playing through illegal esports in the minute. And illegal esports just look a little bit shaky.
Adrian says easy win for illegal esports. Heritage obviously read that comment and took offense to it. Critical's gone with a 3-1 win to Heritage. I mean, I would take 4 goals.
And Critical knows his stuff.
Teagues sends a man for a Twix, puts him on his backside, gives it to his strike partner. What a finish from Harry Newman. This side, Domino, these two strikers are reaching brand new levels, and it's scary. It's scary. What a finish that was.
Hey, well, that means we're going to have to spend 20 minutes off stream again talking about this strike force.
1-0 to Heritage, the VPG UK Premier and Esports Premier side draw first blood, and I think that's only going to anger this illegal esports side, Domino. Unbeaten in 27, don't forget.
I know, April, and what I can say to you, and confidently, that was fully deserved. Heritage have played the cleaner football, have been in the better positions, are looking really confident on the ball, April. Each individual player loving to have
some really good football going on. Teagues with the knockdown to Harry Newman.
Teagues.
Sinek does very, very well there. Very well. Maybe saved his side a goal and flying in there as well. A double win there, but the ball ends back up with Heritage, and again with illegal esports doing so well. I mean, I'm going to say this season, but also last season as well. I don't think they're so used to being in these types of positions.
No, and what I'd say,
oh my Christ, yeah, Sinek again. I mean, go all the way,
he's
son.
Absolutely diced with death there.
Go all the way.
How he's read 4 challenges, I will never know.
Wow. Good tackle though. Good tackle to begin with.
Yeah, it was. What I was going to say about illegal esports is Heritage obviously knock around with some fantastic teams to play against. So does illegal, don't get me wrong, but when you come up against teams like this, it's so much different, so much harder game, which they might not be used to, April, as often.
No, it's facts. It's facts. It's not lazy journalism at all. It's this team play at the highest level, both domestically and Europe, so they're going to play against the best there is. And you're only going to get better by doing that. And I think Heritage, last time we had them on, Teagues, he got disconnected at half time, and the game just went flat because they were missing that man.
Yes.
And I think this is just them putting that right now, Domino, because I've not seen Heritage knock this ball around like this for a long time, if ever. They just look on fire at the moment against a very good side. Donu Sal finds Teagues over the top, who's managed to slide in. Harry Newman again. Big save from Maver. That's why he's top rated, Domino.
April, bravery. That's the one thing I'd say about that save. And sometimes hesitation is the one that kills you, April. No hesitation. Keeper flew off his line.
Yep.
The extra touch. Needed it. He needed to get the space away from the defender. Got gobbled up. And it is... They're just missing that extra pass, April. And I think it's full credit to Heritage because they're doing excellent well. He's picked up the ball nicely. Red time finish. It falls. Oh my April. First shot.
Very fortunate with that block, but there was nothing fortunate about that finish. That is ginger goal. I was going to say, Domino, I think at half-time, the team talk would have been, let's get him involved. So I don't think he's touched the ball at all this half. And here he is, a flash in the pan, and fires it home. Nothing Pecken can do in the Heritage goal, and slightly against the run of play, but let's see what they can do here as they break into the box. Gives it to Teagues. Maver with the save and punches it out to safety as well. Faber back there doing his defensive duties well, and what a first half of football that is, Domino. I don't want half-time. Cancel half-time and let's just carry on.
April, I just think we should be cut commentators.
Sack the leagues off. Sack the leagues off. The leagues are too long anyway.
Yeah, the cup's absolutely banging. Again, we've got another game here in front of us. The ebbed and flowed quite nicely. Heritage, in my opinion, having the better of that half. Illegal Esports just couldn't get any flow, any rhythm, any balance to their play. And if I'm honest, April, you should get absolutely nothing for a red time finish. What they got was a naughty little rebound that Ginger Goat stuck in the top of the net. So, are they fortunate to be back in this position level on the game? I would genuinely say they are. But we're here now, April.
Yeah,
They've been given a lifeline.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Here
we're here again, April.
Here we go. Here we go. The fastest 45 seconds of the night, and it is Heritage to restart the second half. The team who Domino and I thought had the upper hand in that first half, which genuinely means that Illegal Esports will go and score. Which they do. Bang on cue. They played through that Heritage team like a hot knife through butter. And there is Ginger Goat with his best Andre Arshavin performance. 2 shots, 2 goals. He doesn't need to do anything else when he's that hot.
What I said about the Heritage first goal, that goal there, April, just flowed. And that's what I was expecting from Illegal Esports. It's what they do. It's that 1-2 touch passing I said at the beginning, and they just hadn't got going. Heritage, again, counteract that really well. But that's what happens when you get cut cold. And the finish, April, rarely see anything on it. That snapshot, not the extra touch, knows where the goal is. Ginger Goat found it expertly, and in the matter of 3 in-game minutes, this game has flipped it on its head.
Just keep giving it to that man. Just keep giving it to that man, because he's in red hot form at the moment. He's in a purple patch. Don't ask questions. Just give him the ball. Let him do the rest. But yeah, this game has turned on its head. And this is Cup football, ladies and gentlemen. Both of these sides 3 games away from the final of the Esports Cup. A win here takes them into the quarterfinals.
He's through there, April.
Harry Newman holds it up well. Just behind the left winger. Texi does well though. Runners in behind, and here is one of them. Yelko is having a good game, but so is this man as well. Big shout for man of the match, actually. He's been sensational over that right-hand side of defence. Gives it to Harry Newman. Jeez, what a ball that is! The Don is through! The Don puts it away at the near post. Here we go. Game on. 2-2. Domino's favourite player.
Mr. Donald himself, April. The ball went gliding through, and the guy with his best Mallory impression just waltzed past that defence, April. But he's got it all to do. Again, you've seen the stats for that keeper, April. It's a big pressurised moment that the keeper's been handling this season. It needed to be slotted away, and it did. It is 2-2 going into death, April, and what a game we have on our hands.
It's unreal. It is unreal. And Domino again, that ball from Teagues, my God, it was so silky. It put it on a platter for Don Unsal, but that run,
who's surprised here?
That run to break the defence as well, it's just textbook. It's just, honestly, it's great to watch. Really, really good football. Both sides good football. Here we go. Kuba over the top. Chases on. Sees Sammy wins it this time. Heads back to Pekin and Desmond. Domino 2-2. 63 minutes gone. The scoring is not finished, is it? It is not finished.
Absolutely
Kuba
not.
into Mazzy. Edge of the box. Steps
Oh,
past his man.
8 balls on feet.
Trevella
8 balls on
post.
feet. It was glued to him, April. It was absolutely glued to him. Well done by the keeper, because he didn't go for his far post yet. Stayed inside that. That was IQ play there, April.
I would have gone. I would have been sold. I was down the shots.
Oh,
Pick up a
here he is,
newspaper.
April.
Back post. It's of course it's that man. Ginger Goat. He can do no wrong. He stood there with his arms.
3 shots, 3 goals.
It's just not that. The Andre Arshavin of pro clubs. It's 3 from 3 touches for that man. He can do no wrong. Illegal Esports back in the lead. 3-2. We're looking at game of the season so far.
Yeah, Abel, and we have not finished yet. We have not finished. Oh my God, defending Abel.
Hutek, fantastic defending again. Not for the first time. Probably not for the last time if Illegal Esports want to win this one. Mickelback turns on it. We know he's capable of a goal.
Yeah,
Sanasek, the only man arguably playing better than Ginger Goat. Mazzy plays it through to Hutek, who literally made the tackle in his own box literally 30 seconds ago. Pops up at the other end, slots it home. I can't keep up. 4-2 to Illegal Esports.
The change in Illegal Esports from that first half. I don't know what someone said to them at half time, but it must have been some stern words because it's a completely different team here.
Yeah. And
they've come out with intent, they've come out with purpose, and they've been absolutely clinical in front of goal.
It's that goal just before half-time was so massive. And I tell you what, Domino, big shout out to Ginger Goat for letting someone else on his team score. As so thoughtful.
Nice.
Yeah, so thoughtful. Here we go then. Can they add to their 4 goals? Heritage are just scratching their head at the moment. They have no idea what's happened because they truly have not done much wrong whatsoever. Mickelback dispossesses the striker. Kano down the line. Good ball. Heritage moving it quick. They have to. 15 minutes left to get back into this game. Texi chooses not to play it through. Instead goes inside. Gives it off to Mickelback, who we said loves a goal. Alio! Good save by Mather. Turns it away for a corner as well.
I love Mickelback being in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Love Mickelback being in there.
The guy's a menace. He got like 24 goals in a season, including a hat-trick on stream. Like I'll take that to my grave, Mickelback. What he would do for a goal or 2 now, though. Swings it in, finds Mickelback. You won't get many like that, son. You won't get many like that. Illegal Esports complete the clearance, but only as far as Alaho.
Difficult ball there.
Put Texi under pressure there, did he? You did not want that in the end.
He had a lot of options there, and that was the more difficult option.
Oh
my!
Here we go. Header down. Hetman does well. Kano takes it down. Good strength from him. Looking for the Don, but Faber, the captain, does extremely well. Flick on
He's got to win that.
Man played him on his Ginger Goat. If he can get 4 here, gives it to Mazzy instead. Red times it. Big save by Peaks. Ginger Goat keeps it alive. Safsiak back to the goal scorer. I mean, he's scored a hat-trick. He doesn't need any more. Anything else is just purely selfish. Utek says, has a look at the scoreline and thinks, I don't need any more. Goes home, but they lose back out to Heritage with Harry Newman. Good hold-up play from him, and the Don thought he might try and slide it through. Instead goes wide, gets it back. Kano stabs it forward. Saidu is there. Utek, whose goal gives them a nice little cushion going into this last 5-6 minutes. And have we lost the stream, Domino?
No. That's not.
Come on.
That's not a thing.
This is live TV, boys and girls. Oh no.
Question mark.
I don't even think we've got the Illegal Esports stream either, so it's this or nothing. I mean, do you want to check it your side? Because we've only got 5 minutes left. It's going, it's not going, he is offline. He is offline. He's back. He's back. We've not missed any action, but we have missed the last 4 or 5 virtual minutes, which I'm still salty about. But we are going to see this one through just about as Illegal Esports go over the top, and I would imagine that will see them through for game of the season, Domino. 100% game of the season. That had absolutely everything other than the last 5 minutes.
Other than the last 5 minutes, yeah. That we'll take that bit out, and that's what happens with live TV. But mate, what a performance by both teams. Heritage need to take their flowers because we gave them a lot of praise at the beginning, and that first half 8-1, it was just, I think it's what you said. It's that confidence that first goal gave Illegal to just kind of wake them up a little bit and be like, boys, we're much better than this. And then in the second half, obviously scoring 3 goals on top of that. Heritage were consistent throughout the game 8-ball. I think Illegal, once they got into gear 4 and 5, it became a different game from Heritage. They could hurt them, but Illegal got a little bit more free-flowing and a little bit more tighter in defending. And unfortunately, they did ship goals. What a performance by Illegal. And I said we're excited to have them back on the stream 8-ball, and that's the reason why. What a team.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, both teams played their part, and if I'm truth be told, I think Heritage may have even shaded it with arguably the better football. But for some reason, Illegal Esports, and this is what we saw in person at the LAN event last summer, they just find a way to win. And if they need to firefight, they can. If they need to defend, they can. If they just simply need to outscore the other side, quite clearly they can as well. Because that first half, I mean, the first 40 minutes, not too much to write home about. As soon as they got that goal, Ginger Go, I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but he didn't do much else other than score a hat-trick, which blows my mind. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Teams up and down the league, anywhere in the VPG pyramid, and just clubs in general, they would take that every day of the week. Someone who's going to drop a 6 or a 7, but score 3 goals every single game. That's more than acceptable. And you know what? Fair play to him, because Kuba, Mazzy with a 2 to watch, and up steps Ginger Go. So they've clearly got talent in abundance, which, to be fair, we already knew anyway, but nice to see them put that on stream for the very first time. So thank you very much for that.
No, yeah, really good game, Abel, and yeah, what a finish, what a game. And we go across, Abel, on to the next game of the night. Abel, do me a favour. I'm really excited to talk about this exotic team. Can you show me the team sheet, please?
I knew you were going to say that. You stitched me up. This is the second time I've been stitched up in the last 5 minutes on stream. No, we don't, actually. I've got a bone to pick with exotic. No team sheet handed in for those boys, so we don't have anything to show you. BODRUM line up as they were last night. For those of you who watched, those of you who didn't, you'll just have to see it when it's on the screen. They are in the 78th minute as things stand. I think it's their cup game, because they are playing what looks like Tranmere, and if this stays a draw, they will be going into extra time as well. So again, it's another game for us to have to wait for. But if it does go to extra time, Domino, no qualms in watching it.
Picking it up.
No,
yeah,
no
mate.
qualms in watching
I'm always here for penalties.
I mean, to be fair, there's absolutely no reason why. Watch this. We can't just watch this. Why not? Why? Who's gonna do something? Who's gonna
stop us?
Who's gonna say
Who's gonna stop us? Yeah.
This Tranmere side
cool.
is a side that we're trying to get on the stream. We're trying desperately to get on the stream, and they're unfortunate to miss out tonight playing BODRUM. They've got some phenomenal players, Domino, who you will recognise, and there's no surprise that they've taken a side like BODRUM all the way to the last 5 minutes at 0-0. However, it is BODRUM in the white coming forward. Brennan into our fan favourite, Lewis FIFA.
Lewis FIFA's in this team.
Lewis
Abel.
FIFA.
I feel spoilt now. What a player he is. What a guy he is.
Festic picking up a late booking. I will just let them know when full time goes for them to take their sweet time. Take their sweet time. This is a Brucey bonus, and I'm all here for it. This is the Esports Cup, what we just watched. Round of 16. Only one of these sides can go through, and it looks like we may need extra time to work out which one, unless Drew Deeney's got something to say about that. Lewis FIFA tries to take on Bars. Chris is there, swings it back post.
Oh,
wow.
P's and Q's, Abel, gotta watch it.
Son
Last kick of the game.
Yeah, here we go. Send the keeper up. Late drama. Polga's trash, 8 balls clear. there's something you don't hear every day.
That is the most inappropriate and offensive statement I've ever heard. Because it's the biggest lie I've ever seen. James has clearly never seen Abel.
Whoa. Maybe he actually has. Maybe he's just never seen Polga.
that makes more sense. Alright. Are we going extra time? Do you know?
Yeah. Polga's just said, we're going into extra time. I said, no problem. Take your time. We're watching. James is the go. James is the go. Good to have you on board for this evening. This is a Brucey bonus. This does not count as one of your 4 live games. We're doing 4 and a bit. So
4 and penalties. 4 and change.
Right then. Round of 16. VPG Esports Cup. You do get quite a bit of money for winning this tournament, so it's a big deal, and of course, bragging rights, obviously. But this is BODRUM, who currently sit first in the VPG Esports Premier. We are watching them next as well, hence why we were on their stream anyway. But they are taking on, I don't want to use the word lowly because that's not fair. But I don't know what league they're in, so I can only really say lowly. But they're somewhere down there. I want to say champ. Champ fair? Anyone in the know, let me know.
James, what are you saying?
Yeah, James, let us know.
Obviously, James knows everything.
I was going to say, well, clearly he knows the most important facts about clubs. Here we go then. BODRUM in the white from right to left. 15 minutes. Plus this half left to go in this knockout game. No goals so far, so we definitely picked the right game, Domino.
Oh, 100%. We definitely picked the right cup game here. Good to have BODRUM on twice.
Into stocks. There it is. There's the goal we were crying out for. Tut is in fine form at the moment, by the way. Unreal player. Cutting inside from the right. Takes it on the right as well. Finds the back of the net. Nothing the goalkeeper can do with that one. BODRUM draw first blood in the 98th minute.
Yeah, hard position to be in. It's always the harder games, April, because when you're a team like Tranmere, especially again in whichever fictitious league they're in, you're always going to be, once you get into the 90th minute, you've done so much damage to a team like this.
Here we go, overlaps on. It's Tut again. Is he going to do the same? No, he's not. He's going to give it to Wiz. Get to the defensive. What a finish that is, Domo. That's emphatic. That is emphatic. It could only go top bins, and he put it top bins. That's just CDM, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how it went top bins. I don't know how you can put it that top bins, though. That's top bins.
James called it. Someone will score a belter soon. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, get him on the show. Get him on the show.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, I feel like Tranmere were doing all right until we showed up. I genuinely think.
Tranmere is our man.
We're gonna get the blame for this, I think. Phenomenal steps in, gives it to Wiz. Triangles, Domino. Triangles. Although Drew Dini does well, gets back at Wiz. That will take us into the most pointless 45 seconds of anyone's life, he says, as they play into some more pointless time. There we go.
This is my favourite 45 seconds.
It's just the biggest waste of time.
I enjoy this. This is probably my favourite 45 seconds.
I was just going to sit here and make it last even longer.
That's fine.
Someone who works for EA, please tell me why. And do you know what? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's 45 seconds, Domino. And I've got a long time to explain why as well.
Why is it 45
It's 45 seconds because they've already got the coding for a 45-second break in a half time. So it just meant they didn't need to do any more coding for it. That is literally it.
I can't see 8ball's screen. Can anyone tell me if he's wearing his tinfoil hat? Because it's going to be somewhere around his room. Someone find 8ball's tinfoil hat and his head.
I'm wearing my angry eyes.
What happens is 8ball's head falls off every 45 seconds in extra time.
It's
happens
stupid.
every time.
It's
stupid.
You don't need, James. I'll disagree with you till the sun comes up. You don't need 45 seconds when you only played 15 virtual minutes. Those 15 virtual minutes are literally 3 minutes long. Nothing has changed between the end of the game to there to make you need a read that. It just doesn't happen. Plus, there's not enough time to wash your hands. Horrid SG.
And if we know one thing about 8ball, his hygiene is probably better than Polgus.
You can't say that.
I can say what I want, 8ball. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
You're going to get cancelled.
I'm surprised we're not cancelled already, 8ball.
I mean, to be fair, if we had the team sheet, we would literally be sat here discussing the team sheet. Instead, we're having a good time, not washing our hands. I mean, we've seen 100% of the goals, and we've only seen about 20% of the games, so that's a good ratio.
To be fair, BODRUM probably on a little bit of cruise control here. 8ball now think about their next game. And to be fair, while we're talking about this game, 8ball, do you know where Exotic is sitting in the table?
I do. They're 17th, don't they? 9 wins out of 26. So, I mean, they're one place below Heritage, who we just saw, and they were phenomenal. They didn't get the result, don't get me wrong, but it's the esports prem. There's killers. There's no easy games. It's just killers for days. And yeah, I think BODRUM now, they do need to switch on as soon as this game finishes, of course, because it's a different kettle of fish. I mean, as soon as Festic smashed that ball home, I imagine the foot comes off the gas. But yeah, back to business. And BODRUM, who currently sit first in the league, are not going to want to let off, because whilst they are first domino, there are teams around them who do have games in hand. So it's not entirely in their hands at the moment, but all you can do is just keep winning, as Nemo said, or someone like that. 4 up in white shirts. Gives it to Tuck, to Wiz. Flip flaps, good tackle. It's going to come all the way through to Dizzy. Takes his man out there. His confirmation of the win for BODRUM. They go into the quarterfinals, Domino. It's
did not make it look easy, April. And yeah, just kind of going back to that game. Obviously, BODRUM are on the highest points there. Played 3 more games in the G-Mask and Fammers. And if they won their 3 games in hand, obviously would overtake BODRUM. But where BODRUM is, April, it's obviously great to have the 3 games in hand, but it's to convert those 3 games. I'd rather, a question for you, because I'll answer it after you. What position would you rather be? BODRUM, 3 games played more, but what was that? What's the second place in there? 5 points clear. Or would you rather be the team in 3rd, GMAR, who are sitting with 3 games less, 5 points off?
Well, I'd always go with the numbers. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. But also, 3rd place is GMask, and I've applied to play for GMask several times. I've not heard back yet, but I am hopeful. But yeah, I think anything more than maybe 6 points. So I think 7 points onwards, maybe I'd rather just have the points on the board. But 5, 2 wins out of 3, and it puts you top. I think a team like GMA, I do think it would depend who's around me. If it was a team full of 8 balls, absolutely not. Give me the points, because 53 points, we should be safe from relegation with 53 points. But yeah, if I'm an ambitious side like Team GMask, then yeah, I'm saying give me the games in hand. Although patchy bit of form, as we can see from that table, a draw and a loss last night for Team GMask, who haven't featured in the last 2 weeks, Domino. I think someone who plays for that side might have said something to Delosa. I don't know. It's been
Are they upset with us?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen them. Maybe we can get them on next week. But here is a side who we have seen a lot. It is BODRUM. And confirmation of them, sat in the lobby, confirmation of them. There we are, getting the invite, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our 3rd of 4 games. It is the league leaders, REGNUM BODRUM, taking on Exotic Gaming. Currently sat in 17th place. Scored in every one of their last 7 games. 4 wins in those 7 games, Domino. Against PMI last night, great win for them. For the win, and soon. So, picking up points and picking up some scalps along the way as well. And obviously move on to REGNUM, who, again, if you were tuned in last night, now unbeaten in 12. I mean, make that 13 and possibly 14 if they played at 8 o'clock as well. 3-0 win against Phoenix last night. Polga scoring in that game, and we saw them last night, Domino. They're a very, very good side. Did we see them at their best?
No, I think we saw a Famalicio team that had their foot on their neck and let go of it. And as soon as they did, they got sucker punched. REGNUM got up, punched them in the back of the head, and took their lunch money. Because I think they were outplayed in that game. But we said it on the stream, games like that, you'll look back and be like, how did we get a point out of that? And we've only won the league by 3 points. It's one of those points that we should never have got. is the reason we won the league, and if you break down the season. So it is good signs for a title progressing team, but it can't be in too many of those firefights, Abel. It's not good for their health.
No, and I obviously, no disrespect to Exotic. In fact, we've never seen them play Domo, so welcome to the channel. I'd be surprised if they turned in a Famalicão style performance from last night, because Famalicão were insane for 80 minutes of that game. But like you said, Domino, it's almost former champions. I do think this one might be a little bit different though, as Took goes for the Tremella near post. Ivan equal to it. Switched on, and I think he's going to need to be switched on for this game, because BODRUM look like they are in a goal scoring mood tonight too in the last game. Here we go. Not like that. Sand takes it down though and makes something of a bad corner. Shaz.
I mean, yeah, they kept possession. Good corner.
They want goals, not possession. Here we go. Heist gives it to Aruzo, looking for striker's feet. Wins it back though and gets the turn in as well. But there is that man.
Who's that man? Who's that?
Unreal player. Unreal player. Here is Wiz on the halfway line for BODRUM. Gives it to his strike partner Stocks, and the floating Polga out wide for now. Loses out, cleared up, headed down by Beast. Another Beast Domino. Maybe it's the Beast triplets.
Nope, can't do it.
Fire through to Stocks. Oh, what a run that is! Big save by Ivan, kept alive! And I think Stocks had a massive goal to aim out. It was fantastic defending, but oh my God. Shaz heads it down to Stocks, who missed that first one. I'm going to say there was some degree of gilt edge. It was fantastic defending, but tell you what, Domino, the IQ play, the ball into the back post, Shaz chests it down for his strike, and Stocks makes no mistake this time round. Domino, talk to me about that.
Yeah, the football was beautiful, April, and both phases of that attack, they were... I hate it when the keeper should get some just rules, because that save there, April, was off one of the highest standards I've seen this season. Even last season, it was incredible. I thought it was a sure goal. 0.9 XG. It's got 1 XG and it didn't go in. And the recycling, again, I'm thinking, is he going to head it? Is he going to hit it? The chest inside. When you've got teams playing with confidence, that happens, and these kind of things pay off. And REGNUM are just playing with that kind of confidence. And I didn't think Exotic did anything too bad. Their shape wasn't that bad. They didn't leave many gaps. They were okay. It's just the play was so clinical, April.
And they're looking good here as well, Domino. They're zipping it around. And to be fair, I mean, we always say there's no easy game in this league, and we genuinely mean it. But it's just when you come up against sides like REGNUM in this kind of form, there's nothing you can do about it. Polga gets to the byline, stabs it across. Guna gets across though. Good defending from him. Definitely stopped a sure goal if that had found the man. Yeah, we said Ivan would be busy in that Exotic goal. Boy, were we right. Bang on cue. Collects that nicely. But yeah, Exotic knocking it around like the best of them, Domino. I'll tell you that for nothing. They do look like a handy side. I think just making it stick with these two strikers at the moment is key. It's going to be so key for this side.
It's nice football, April. Yeah. It's very nice football.
And here is Beast. It's fallen to major boot. Is there an offside? There is an offside. Cancel that goal celebration. To be honest, mate, I don't even really know where it's from, because that kind of looks
like in the replay camera here, April. So I'm just gonna have a little quick.
That kind of looks like where the shot was taken from, but there's a just a friendly reminder, Domino, that Exotic are still here and they're happy to play the role of party poopers for the league leaders. Into Stocks, looking for the return ball is tough, but dispossessed and cleared. And
I thought it looked a bit odd, April. The block was made by his own player that was just marking offside, and then when it fell to the man, he was not offside because he was clearly onside. Yeah, just very unfortunate there from Exotic. But
ball on the top to Wiz. Sorry to cut you off, Domino, but Wiz is doing Wiz things. He takes the ball under his smell from over his shoulder. Here we go. Replay is on and smashes it home from point blank range. And I tell you what, Domino, there's literally nothing Ivan could have done about that.
April, something I like to call a Velcro foot there.
Yeah.
It's dropped down 8-ball and just landed perfectly, fired it into that top corner. This Regnum side looked like world beaters 8-ball, and this is a great performance here. Now, Exotic are proving they're not out of this. They had a fantastic chance, and the ball was in the back of the net, so they need to be wary. But yeah, Regnum are looking clinical.
I think that's enough for them to take into half-time if they can make it in at 2-0, or even 2-1 to be fair. But they've got enough about them, and that's what my team talk would be, Domino. We've put the ball in the back of the net once. There's no reason why we can't do it again. And just again, we saw BODRUM yesterday. If the boys at Exotic watched anything from yesterday, they would have seen that. And I don't want to say they took their foot off the gas, but it's impossible to play this well for 90 minutes straight. We've never seen a team do it. And there is going to be chances, especially if they keep playing the way they're playing and keep probing the way they are probing. They've just got to make sure they stay in this game. And at 2-0, they're just about in it for now. If they can sneak one before half-time, they'll be laughing. We saw what good that can do earlier on in the night with Illegal Esports. They went on to score another 3 from that. And here we go. Here is Beast, who's proving to be a danger so far. 10 goals for him so far this season. He is their top goal scorer. Hacienda sends 2 men for a Hacienda. But Phenomenal in the way. The big centre-back of Bars there as well. And we're seeing a different side to BODRUM right now. It's backs against the wall, and I don't think they'll mind doing it just before half-time. Polga puts someone on his bottom. Good play from Exotic to win it back, though. Hacienda into space. He's going to keep it alive. That's not the alive they wanted, though. Thought he might swing it in from there. Polga does Polga things. Very, very clever, that man. 2-0 to BODRUM going into half-time, potentially, unless Phenomenal fumbles this, which of course he does not. And that is going to see us through. No, referee's going to let him play. It is Wiz who scored the second goal of the game. Stocks dispossessed, and now we're going to get half-time. A solid half from BODRUM, but Exotic doing enough to... They're keeping me a believer, Domino.
Yeah, Exotics play their 8-ball. I like the way they play. It's the first time we've seen them, but they do have an identity. I do think they are the one-touch team. It might be to a little bit of detriment 8-ball, because sometimes you're asked to play one-touch football, but sometimes one-touch football's not on. So you've got to settle the game down to it's a bit of rhythm in their play, but they've looked good going forward. I think Regnum in form like this, the goals they've scored, it does look every time they go forward that they're going to either get a shot on goal or get the ball in the back of the net. So Exotic do need to watch that, but they also can't accept 2-0 loss. They have to do something there. They have to change something. So switch up the script 8-ball, emergency striker on at half-time, get the centre-half there, go guns blazing within the first 45 minutes and see what happens. Just change 8-ball.
Yeah, it's very good from a neutral point of view, but
I wouldn't do it as a manager.
Yeah. Domino's taking the 2-1 and looking after his goal difference at this point in time, but
yeah, I'm just watching my past stats. If I've got 100%, I'm fine anyway. So don't worry about it.
Here we go then, second half of our third game of 4 this evening. It's our first VPG Esports Premier game, and it is BODRUM league leaders in the white from left to right, 2-0 to the good. Again, 17th place Exotic, first time for them on the channel. Well, for Pro Clubs Weekly anyway. They are in the Manly Salmon. Stocks beats his man twice, takes the foul as well. Tuck is always on, beats his man, cuts inside, near post Ivan, and Domino is making some strange noises over here, courtesy of Tut. Wiz now as well. And it is Boo who gets back, the man who put the ball in the back of the net for Exotic, and they've left 2 men up, and that's kind of not a bad tactic there, Domino, because BODRUM are going to make chances regardless of how many players they've got back, but leaving those men up as well just gives them something. But yeah, I'll let you talk about that Tuck and Wiz chances.
He's getting on the ball and creating something. No one wants to go close to him, 8-ball, because he's making people look silly. He's making me look silly. I'm making silly noises, 8-ball, but the guy is a handful on his worst day, so imagine when he's having an okay day like today. Yeah, really good player, high IQ player, and he's just someone that you'd hate to play against in the nicest possible way.
I think that's one of the best compliments you could pay to a player of pro clubs is, don't fancy playing against you today. Don't fancy being made a fool of. And yeah, Tut's in that kind of form, and he's been at his highest level in the last 6 months since FC25. Really, it was phenomenal last season. BODRUM finished in 4th place, and he was instrumental in that season. But you can see Exotic here leaving lots of men up. Phenomenal though, like running into a brick wall. Would not recommend, but lots of salmon shirts up. Heist looking for Beast, who's seen a lot of the ball. Hacienda looks like their main man, stabbing it into the striker. Oh wow, Heist has put it centimetres wide, and that was a massive chance.
It goes back to your comment that you said that you'll always get something, you'll always get a chance. It's whenever it's going to fall to you, are you going to take it? And that might be, I mean, say it's very, very still early on in this second half, but huge chance. If that goes in April, it changes the landscape of the next 35 virtual minutes. And BODRUM come through here. It's full to Polga with the ball inside. They recycle it quite nicely.
Yeah, good turn by Polga there. I like that. He's got a bit of freedom at 2-0 up, but again, Exotic just reminding BODRUM, who, to be fair, that chance and the offside goal, I don't want to say they're riding their luck, but it is, you know, every time we see them, former champions.
Yeah, and we went back to that conversation of where you'd rather be in the league table. I'd be in the BODRUM position. I like the idea where I'm going to stick pressure on you. I'm winning my games.
Yeah.
You just need to do the same thing there. And if one slip up happens, the confidence gets knocked out. Well, you've seen it happen a lot of times. You'd rather be the team that's got the points on the board than the team that has to find the points.
Yeah, for sure. Here is Heist, the man whose effort short while ago almost half the deficit, and Exotic, to be fair to them, they're still in this game, and it's not through want of trying. They are knocking at that door, and BODRUM.
Do you know what I hate, Abel? I'm just going to go say this because I saw it again.
Scared to answer.
This exactly thing here. When your back's to goal and you can manually kick it 60 yards.
There we go. Here's Wiz through one-on-one. Man coming across. Ivan with a massive save again. Massive save. But yeah, totally agree, Domino. And
you should never have a no backlift. Be your back towards where you're kicking it and then swing your foot.
First header one, headed down for Phenomenal. Good defending from Exotic. Flick-on was there. Warren SG back there as last man. Yeah, totally agree, Domino. Nobody can actually physically do that in real life, so don't see why they would do it on the game. But it's become a part of the centre-back's arsenal, Domino.
Yeah, that manual pass, the big hoof over the top. I like the hoof over the top going back in, Abel. Like an educated hoof. I do actually like it.
It's like the 90s again.
Yeah, I miss it. I do like that Route 1 kind of style, Abel.
Baller build, Vinnie Jones build.
Get out of the channel.
99 aggression. 23 first touch. 10 minutes left for the boys in Salmon to do something about this 2-0 lead, which it feels like they've been 2-0 up for a very long time, Domino. Hacienda, what a ball that is.
All change here. Well, what a header. Phenomenal.
It writes its own. No, you're better than that, Domino. You're better than that.
He should be in that Sabicate April. Jesus Christ, Leplat one there.
At least you didn't say it was phenomenal. Here is Polga, 30 yards from goal, where he does his best work. Misses out there, and Hacienda picks the ball up, and Polga will happily take a booking.
Yeah, April, clever. You got players there, but I think he was bored, if I'm honest with you.
Hacienda. Not again.
I really think Polga didn't want to run back. He's just like,
Here he is again. And maybe that's their tactic now. Maybe they know they're not going to score 2 goals, so it's like, well, let's get Polga sent off. Just to annoy them. Just pick the ball up and just keep running around him. Here is Wiz. And that's a great tackle by Manu. Hacienda picks it up again. Polga dragging back. He's thinking about it, having a little nibble. He's not going anywhere, Domino. He's luring him in.
Oh,
he's luring him in. I love it.
He doesn't want to run out, but I'm telling you, he does not want to run.
Phenomenal will take the goal kick happily off of Heist. And I think for Exotic, Domino, it's just going to be a case of what if. Really and truly, what if that the strike in the first half had hit the defender instead of the attacker. If that ball had just been a couple of millimetres to the left, Heist would have equalised. It's fine margins at any stage.
Fine margins,
at any stage of clubs, but none more so at this level. And this is first place 17th, Domino, and we're talking about a deflected shot and a shot that's, you know, a couple of millimetres going wide is the difference between the two sides. And that's why we love competitive clubs, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why we're here week in, week out, because it's phenomenal to watch. And Exotic Gaming, to be fair, first time we've seen them, they look really, really good. They look like a really, really good side, and I'd welcome them back anytime. Just do your team sheet next time.
I was going to say providing they do team sheet. But you look at seasons like that, and it's a reminiscent of when you start saying, when you said obviously what the ifs and buts. Title winners, everyone has like a little asterisk against the name. Yeah, but someone got injured that season, that's why that won the title, or they got that penalty decision, otherwise they wouldn't have won the title. I like that you float those ideas around REGNUM, because they must be doing something right. But they're like, well, that goal went in, that would have happened. They're on the right track here, April. They're picking up points where they need to pick up points. Again, it's another 3 points in the bag, another pressure on people below to get their results. Yeah, they're doing what they need to do, and they've done it with tiny work there, April.
Well, we're over halfway through the season now, Domino. So, you know, it is a time where we start paying attention to the league. And, you know, they're the front runners regardless of how many games they've played. And you know, like Domino keeps saying, I think a lot of teams would prefer to have those points in the bank, especially when you look at the form table, which I can bring up now whilst we wait for our final two teams to get in. I mean, look at the form table. Other than ROTE, who are just playing now, Empire dropping points, REGNUM dropping points, Team GMAS last night dropping points, Family Cow 3 draws in a row. So every team other than ROTE at the moment are dropping points. So Domino might be onto something there, mate.
Yeah. Again, you'd rather
first time for everything.
Hey, what is happening with you in this stream? I don't like it, Abel. I heard you eating before the stream started and put me on even keel before that, and I've never got back. I don't get it. Right, talk to me about who we've got on now.
The main event of the evening for the win, taking on yesterday's steamrollers, ROTE TEUFEL ESPORTS. So I probably butchered that name as well. Massive game. ROTE 6th place, 4-1 winners at my beloved Digital last night, taking on 5th place for the win. Who, Domino, these are a side where I can flick back to the league table in a sec for those of you at home, but they've won the equal most games in the league and they're in 5th place. So they either win or they lose. Very rarely draw. But if they win all their games in hand, they go joint top of the league. They're currently in 5th. So that just shows you how tight this league table is. But also what a good season for the win are having. 8th place last season, which we said was a good result for them. And here they go, marching on and saying, well, you thought 8th was good. Hold my beer. Let's see what we can do. And yeah, I think you look around that team and you can start to understand why they're looking so good and why they are potentially 2-3 games away from being joint top of the league.
No, yeah, you look at the team sheet and you see the borders across their 8 ball. But that is really interesting to, like, again, for the win there, the games played and the games won equaling the top of the table. It goes to show that they're an all or nothing type of team, and I think that's the kind of bravery that takes you up the table to think, well, there's no point just playing for a goal here. Either we're going to go for it all or we get nothing. It's a risky policy, but at the minute, 7th with games in hand to get you into that top 4 position, even top of the league, is really important. And as for ROTE, they did have a breakout season last season. I think they played the most games there in the top, I'd say in the top 8. They played the most games.
Yeah, I mean, I switch it back on now.
Yeah, I think they're on 28 games, and everyone else is on the next one down is 26. So ROTE have played the most games, and they sit in 4th place. So ROTE do need to start picking up points, because if the table starts even out with games played, they need people to do them favours.
Yeah, and to be fair, if they carry on the form that they were in yesterday, that should be absolutely no problem, because they were phenomenal yesterday. And it all starts with that front pairing of Machiavelli and Arquez Domino. No Ixie again tonight. Marv plays in cam, but they do get Dex back at the very least. Wigwam slots back into CDM after he scored last night as well. So it's always a good sign when you are up the table and you can plug some of those gaps for whatever reason. You know, we don't know why players are missing. But with ROTE, they're able to plug those gaps, and not a lot of teams are able to do that and still perform at a high standard. I think that might be one of the worrying things for teams around them, because they seem to be hitting their stride now, unbeaten in 17 games.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And obviously we saw them, and it's probably arguably the best we've seen them last night. They completely and utterly tore Digital apart. And Arquez and Machiavelli in particular as well were in insane form. They drew the game before that last night against GSK, which I think, obviously being where they are in the table, they'll see that as a relative disappointment. But again, Arquez and Machiavelli both scored in that game as well. So I think For the Win will be very aware of that. But as we saw last night, Domino, even if Machiavelli and Arquez aren't touching the ball, they've still got players who can hurt you in that midfield, like Dex, like Marv, like Didas.
Yeah, they are a very well-oiled and well-constructed team. I still do think that they definitely have players that hurt you, but it's the Machiavelli and Arquez partnership that is up there with the top three. I would safely say, on partnership, not ability, as in individuals, or they are world class in their own right, as an actual partnership and as a strike force, they complement each other so well. When one of them drops off, one of them runs behind. When one of them's decoying, one of them's decoying. This is the worst kit clash I've ever seen.
That's quite bad, actually. And
who decided to pick the kits?
They might come back out. I don't know.
You can't come back out. You can't play that. Like, if I am in that team,
I think they're gonna.
Yeah, you've got 100%. You can't.
It was the right decision. It was definitely the right decision. I'll let them know that it was the right decision as well.
In the chat, Dregs beat Clarity and Class. Go on, Dregs.
Yeah, let us know any scores from the doors. I mean, we're always happy to hear about who's doing what. It's probably something we should really.
Class are massive scouts as well, massive teams.
Class, for sure. Yeah, we should probably make people do that more in the chat. Just let us know what the scores are, because you know, every time I go onto the VPG website, I do see the little scrolling bar, and it's very Sky Sports-esque, by the way. And as soon as we can work out how to get that bar onto this stream, we will do it. Until that point,
and it will change the face of pro clubs forever.
Until that point, we're more than happy to get people in the chat, just letting us know, good old-fashioned way. But yeah, as you can see, we are doing a quick turnaround, quick kit change. There's a tongue twister for you. The fourth and final game, 5th plays 6th. ROTE are away from home. It is Portugal against Germany, so there could be dominant. A little bit of a ping issue. We'll see.
Yeah, anytime you've got someone that's not either your neighbouring country or in your country, I'd imagine there's some form of debate if there's a ping issue. Nothing major, but again, there is that.
Yeah. And before last night, For the Win were unbeaten in 9. They lost 3-2 to Fluminense last night, though. So again, it's one of those where they're building momentum, and you often see it with these top teams. You know, when we're looking at stats, often they are unbeaten in X, but again, it just shows you that the teams around you, they're desperate to take points off those around them. Fluminense again, I would consider them rivals with For the Win, so it was a great result for them, but it just helps teams like ROTE, like those at the top end of the table as well, because I mean, take ROTE for instance, 17 games unbeaten, something has to give, so they'll be thanking Fluminense for that. And also it just kind of knocks the confidence a little bit coming into games like this. So they picking the stop.
April, I thought they were just going white on white then. And I was like, someone needs to have a word with someone else in this. I mean, I would have gone white versus red. The black looks like a little bit white. Do you know what? I'm just going to see what the kits are on.
I mean, surely whatever they pick has to be better than red on red, but we'll find out because they diced with death a few times, and to be fair, it's quite exciting. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what the kits are.
Whose stream are we on? ROTE or
ROTE
for the wins? Okay, great footballers, horrible, like partially colourblind.
We don't have the other stream, so we couldn't pick it.
Oh,
yeah,
no, okay.
It is
I
going
mean,
to be.
That's not what they picked. No one picked white and red there.
It's going to be whether they like it or not. ROTE in the white, and for the win in the red and black kit. They keep their kit from the first game. Portugal plays Germany for the win at home. The Portugueses, 5th place in the league, taking on ROTE, unbeaten in 17. ROTE. Let's see what we've got for our last game of the evening. Santalivi, guys.
Oh my.
Legend back there doing his defensive duties. The beast at the centre back for ROTE. I think he might be busy tonight. No. Didas, who we saw with an incredible assist last night from that wide right midfield.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, to be fair, like all 4 goals, Abel, some of the smooth football that they were playing. Again, it was honestly incredible. And it's not even like low opposition. They were playing a very, very good team. But we always call for those big teams to have that consistency, Abel. It's the next night, can they do the same thing? But they haven't picked up the ball here in a really dangerous area.
And again, we say the big teams look for their danger men early doors, and that's exactly what ROTE are doing here. Every time they can, they play into Arquez and Machiavelli's feet, and it just suits both of those players as well. They can run onto balls, they can get balls into feet, they can win balls in the air. It doesn't matter. They can press the ball, they can do it all, and that's what makes this ROTE side so dangerous. They really have just built the rest of the team around those 2 strikers, and I tell you what, 17 games unbeaten for a reason, Domino. They'll be looking to build on that. These are the types of teams, if they want to get above where they finished last season, which I believe was 5th, they're currently 6th. If they want to get into that and really, really have a say at that title, finish in that top 3, these are the sides of team. These are the types of teams they will have to beat.
Yeah, and these are the great games for teams like ROTE. You know you've played the most games. What is he doing, April? That's absolutely criminal.
He's the cameraman. He do what he wants.
Yeah, there's confidence, April, and then there's that. But he's got away with it, so
is Chica as well. I mean, fine, yeah. Like I said, 17 games unbeaten, Domino. Yeah, wheels come off eventually. I mean, you can only do that so many times and get away with it. Here is Creativo on this right-hand side. For the win, a very, very capable player. Winger / wide midfielder. Marv with the turn though, gives it to Machiavelli, looking for Arquez. He got one left on him as well, nothing given. For the win, recycle from that initial clearance over the top, looking for Creativo. Dex does well though. They'll be happy to see that man back. A wealth of experience for him. Here he is as well. Superb defending, and again, he's one of those players, Domino, give you something going forward, something coming back as well. They're worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, they're those players that can kind of do it all and be really transitional. Oh, fantastic. That ball's gone to the back post of 8 ball. It's a header and everything right there, 8 ball.
Head it down.
Nice and high. Head it down into the ground. Unfortunately for the player, it just drifts wide. But that is some really good, encouraging signs for the win. And I tell you what, ROTE's style at the minute here, 8 ball, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem like they're trusting themselves on the ball as they play out.
Casual.
Yeah. So unless they've seen something that for the win that we haven't seen, but they're not trusting themselves to play out against him, the ball's getting here and then going long, where I do think you need to service Machiavelli and Arquez nice and early, and there's one of them there, Abel. Plays it inside. He's picked it up here again.
By Marv. Gets to the byline, pulls it back to Arquez. One of the 2 players you definitely wanted to fall to. They do complete the clearance. And will Deuce Liao keep it in? Yes, he will, but Chica pinches his pocket. Slides through Didas. We know that man's got an assist in him. Ball goes long though, and Chica will take it down. A recycle for Rote. Much better from Rote for the win, just holding on them. But we've seen them. We've seen what they can do with the likes of Fabian, with Rafa and Gothial. Good attacking team for the win. Speaking of attacking, that's a fantastic tackle back from the depth. And here is Rafa handing off to Vip. Swings it out to the other side. Not really much on. Fabian does well. Rafa's seen a lot of the ball in this last 5-10 minutes in that central defensive midfield area. Gothial holds up nicely, gives it to Creativo. Fabian Dono, big shout out to him. 13 assists so far this season. He's the gaffer over at For the Win, really leading by example. We love to see it. Edge of the box, Lucas finds Machiavelli, looking for Arquez. No idea what that was. I don't think he'll claim to know what it was either. Chica again though, very, very heavy on the intercepting and gets his pocket pinch this time. But Wigwam wins it back for Rote, and it's a bit of a topsy-turvy game so far. Marv sliding through Arquez, good hold-up play for him. Here is Dex, gets it out of his feet, thought he might have pulled the trigger. Comes back onto that right foot. Edge of the box is on. Finds Machiavelli. Flip-flops his way through.
Machiavelli.
Back
He's
and
just a clever player, April. The feet on inside. I don't know how people do it. I don't get it.
That's why we're up here, Domino.
It's why we're up here and not down there.
One of many reasons.
Full credit for the win. Keeper probably did have it covered, but defended the nice to get back on the line there.
Good positive goalkeeping by Bruno. And absolutely bullets it out to this near side. One into the feet of Deuce Liao. Didas there though, with wide midfielder Domino, just like Dex on the other side. A wealth of experience and defensive duties ticked off for him. Go back out wide now. Hugo holds off his man nicely, gives it to his gaffer, who finds Gothial, tries to slide it through, does slide it through. Legend back there. And again, Domino, I think this game started off at a bit of a walking pace, but it is sped up, it is heated up, and both sides showing their quality now, several occasions. And to be honest, I didn't even know what the minute was, but I definitely didn't think it was going to be half time.
No, and yeah, it was very much a early sparring session in that first opening 15-20 minutes there, April. Seeing what team's going to come out. I think, if I'm honest, For the Win had a better share of that 20 minutes. They resorted Rote to doing something a little bit unnatural and just going long. You know Arquez and Machiavelli like those quick passes, early transitions, space to run in behind, space to be creative. They don't want to chase lost causes, which is a little bit what they were doing in the first 20 minutes. I think Rote then shored up their football, started playing a little bit more concise on the ball, and they've looked a lot better. For the Win 8 ball, I haven't seen them on in a while, but they've impressed me. It looks like a really, really good outfit. Great tackling, great shape of a team. It's balanced quite nicely, to be fair.
Yeah, they're a team who are building for the future for sure. Keeping the same plays, keeping the same mentality, that same tactics, and they're paying dividends for it, you know, Domino. And it's a lot to be said for teams like that who stick together through thick and thin, and they're getting their just rewards. 8th last season, 5th so far, having a great season. And long may it continue if you're a For the Win fan. Here we go, second half. And Kampf is tackled by the corner flag and concedes.
That would genuinely happen.
Concedes the corner, fair enough. And it is For the Win. Early chance in the red and black from right to left with the corner early on in the second half. Ball is there to be won. Vip heads it down to Gothial, finds the back of the net. Very well worked corner, unselfishly knocked down twice, and Domino, that's all come from that corner flag mishap.
I was about to say, imagine if this goes in and you try and break down a goal. You know, how did the corner get conceded? It's like, yeah, I went to clear the corner flag. I mean, it's something that would happen in real life.
First
but
time for everything. First
yeah,
time
but we always say, April, there's spells where you get opportunities. It's all about taking them.
Gotta take it.
People have taken it. And the record like Rote have, when we start putting that in folklore, April, 17 games unbeaten, any team that starts to play Rote knows that and kind of treats it like a cup game.
Beat the streak,
I've got
beat the streak.
badge to win. Yeah.
Deuce Liao back sticks is on. Vip heads it down again to Gothiao once more.
Oh my
He
God,
just smashed his own crossbar. I mean, it worked. It's fine. They did not concede. But Tanzareke, he made the initial save, and he must have just watched that from the floor. His own team, the cameraman, hit his own crossbar. First time I've seen the corner flag kicked. First time I've ever seen the own crossbar kicked. And to be honest, Domino, it worked. It worked.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how, but it worked.
On the slow replay here, it will. It is now. I can't make sense of it, but that was fantastic. And did they concede? No. Oh my, 8 ball, he was through. I thought it needed to be chipped. They're looking a little bit stretched in this defensive position, 8 ball.
Yeah,
There's a lot of holes, there's a lot of gaps, and they're all being created by For the Win.
This is not the route we saw last night, Domino. Defensively solid. I don't know what it is at the moment, Domino. Like we kind of said it in the first half. There's just that little seed of doubt in the back of their mind. That is absolutely abysmal. Creativo. Come on, bro. Come on. Big job in the first half. You know, we almost touched upon it in the first half. We said they were looking a little bit shaky. I don't know what it was. Neither of the back three have kind of shook that. I mean, Chica's probably having the best. I'm so sorry, Chica. I was going to say, he's probably having the best game out of the three. Loses possession here, swings it in. Camp looking to make amends. He was the man taken out by the corner flag. Angelo, though, loses possession. Didas gives it to Marv, who's been quiet for the last 20-30 minutes. More so to do with For the Win, really doing a number on him. Machiavelli, good turn, gives it to Arquez, exchanges passes, but here comes Vip, who's having an absolute barnstormer of a game. And so is this man, the goal scorer, Greenhead Gothiao. Switches the play, earns his side a little break as they play it around in their own half. 1-0 up. They're allowed to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
At your own peril. At your own peril. Arquez, fantastic first touch, gets out of his feet. Big save from Bruno. Big, strong wrist to that as well. And Domino, that first touch from Arquez, I don't even know how to do that in FIFA.
No, Arquez does some magical things, and that's a magical thing there. Holding the ball, finding the ball inside 8 ball. Excellent done. I do think, I don't know why ROTE are not trusting themselves to pass up from the back. Unless the only thing I can choke it down to 8 ball, and I'm not making an excuse here, would be that they're away, which means they're running.
That's a very good shout. And to be fair, it would explain stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really odd why they're not trusting themselves to play out from the back, because they don't trust themselves playing quick passes. But there's a back post option on there. They do find him. He should get there first. Heads it down nicely. Falls to Mr. McAvenny. He doesn't want it.
It's gonna happen. It's an absolute freebie, and I'm sure EA had a lot to say because Bruno is a world-class goalkeeper. But do you know what? Sometimes the corner flag gets in the way. Sometimes the game just says the other side needs a goal, and we'll just give him it. But here comes Gothiao and co. Domino, I don't even know where to start. This has been a weird game.
It's been a weird game, 8 ball. Like, if someone comes in for the first time and we say this is one of the highest standards you can play at, and then you watch this game, you're like, is it?
If you watch that clearance onto his own crossbar, Domino, I mean, he'll tell you he meant it. He will tell you he meant it.
It's sometimes 8 ball. There's no excuse for the keeper there, but
what has happened, by the way?
What
has happened? No,
oh
not again.
Vic
gets caught. He's put it away.
He's offside. I think he's offside, 8 ball. He's offside. I don't know how he's offside. Don't ask me how he's offside. I'm going to go watch my second replay and you keep commentating. I don't know what's happening.
Pause the game. Pause the game. Yeah, this weird game again, even weirder. And to be fair, the cameraman stitched us up there because For the Win had it. For the Win didn't have it. Arquez had it 6 yards from goal with the header. It was saved. Vip gets caught on the post. We thought it was going to be a repeat of the first goal for ROTE, and then the referee just put his flag up, and I still don't really know why. But here's Gothiao dancing his way through. I'm really surprised that wasn't given as a penalty. Given what I know about this game so far, really surprised that wasn't given as a penalty. 2v2 though, Machiavelli and Arquez. That's not a 2 you want to be facing. Joins the party, does Wigwam, gives it to Dex. Oh, it's inches wide. It's inches wide. I think Bruno might have had it covered, but again, ROTE really coming into this second half, or the second half of the second half, truth be told.
Right, I can't keep watching game balls. I need to watch this game. But I've watched it 3 times. I have no clue
Still
how
couldn't
that's
work it
on.
out. Shock. Imagine our shock. Imagine. I mean, for the win have been the better side, but ROTE. I mean, it's ROTE things, isn't it? They're former champions, maybe? I don't know. They're dicing with death. They've diced with death this whole game. And they're almost 2-1 up. Divine Intervention obviously has kind of stepped in their way, but also very fortuitous with the first goal as well. So you can look at it one of 2 ways. Deucely out on the edge of the box, centres man for an Olympic dive, falls to Ultra, goes down, dusts himself back up. Tanzaraki with the save. Captain's going to lose it. Tanzaraki with the clearance. It was absolute pinball in there. Legend, read the room. I want to watch the. Watch the play. Every time he snaps back to the centre back, ROTE go through on goal. Oh my days, this game. Marv wins it for Arquez. Back post is on. He's going to try to go back post. Vip heads home. And I tell you what, Domino, it wouldn't have surprised me if that just went past the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I wouldn't try anything simple.
Goffy out. 3v3 in favour of the red shirts as they go 3-2 up in favour of the red
I love how he
shirts.
went to slide because the ref ain't giving a penalty to anyone. I mean, that was a stonewaller in that box. That's a stonewaller.
Here we go then. Last throw of the dice for the win. There's no chance of a clearance. They're making sure of that as well. And no, they're not going to let. I thought, do you know what? I thought I might eat my words because it is one of those games where, yeah, we've been made to look quite foolish at times because how can you commentate on anything that just happened in that last 30 minutes?
Yeah, I had no clue what went on. So, 8-ball. As I was saying before, if someone tuned in for the first time and we're talking about this the highest level, yeah, maybe skip this one. There was definitely a lot of high level things. It was just a weird game, mate. And
It was a very strange game.
It's a weird game.
Yeah, I'm happy for it. I mean, it keeps us on our toes. It does nothing for my voice whatsoever, so thank you very much for that. But you cannot say that that was not entertaining. I'm not entertained. Right. Yeah, that is, for those of you who are good at maths, that is 4 games out of the 4 for tonight. So that means we are done and dusted. No stream tomorrow, can confirm. Wednesday is a no-go. There's a strong possibility it's going to happen on Friday now. Whether or not we're there or not, I don't know. But stuff will be happening on Friday in the EU LAN, the EU Masters LAN tournament. So stick to social media to find out what's going on there, basically, because you'll probably know before we will, and then we'll act accordingly, and so on and so forth. But we might see you Friday, or we could discuss Friday's shenanigans on Monday stream next week. But Monday, Tuesday next week, boom, put that in your diary. We'll be there. And yeah, another one to put in your diary is the first weekend in July, the VPG UK Premier LAN. Will be there, and so will lots of other teams. That's in Sheffield, so book your hotels, book your Airbnbs, book your travel, get it done early doors, save some money, and then come to the bar and spend a lot of money. Easy.
With us.
With us, we'll be there. We will be there. Professionalism is not our strong point.
No.
Right, Domino, on that bombshell. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether it be live or whether it be a replay. Continue to support clubs. Any kind of clubs is more than okay with us, but preferably VPG, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel, and of course Pro Clubs Weekly. Get subscribed to both of those, follow on all socials, and you'll never miss a beat. Dominic, I'll let you sign off, but that's it from me. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, end of a great week, 8-ball. So, to be fair, 8 fantastic games. Always been a pleasure. Back at it next week, 8-ball. Can't wait for it. And that's it for Pro Clubs Weekly. I'll catch you boys next week.
Cheerio.